With 2xKO's console release and start of Season 1 right around the corner, I want League players, or anyone for that matter, to try out what Riot has been cooking up for us. 2xKO is Riot's new 2D tag fighter, meaning you, and if you have one, your friend, can pick two of your favorite champions to fight against your buddies or some unemployed sweats. Fighting games have always been very niche and gatekept, which is stopping League players from trying out a different game featuring their favorite champions. But I want to change that, so I will tell you everything there's to know before starting your first online matches. My name is Patrick and I have been playing 2xKO since their closed beta last fall. I want people to try their beloved League champions in this amazing game, so I have recorded 3 lessons where you can listen to me yap and explain how I play the game. If you are already familiar with fighting games, then the first 2 lessons will probably not teach you a lot. But you might want to check out the 3rd lesson, where I showcase all the different tag mechanics this game has to offer. In the first lesson I will talk about all the different controls, how to get comfortable with them, and finally what champions there are, so you can already pick your favorite and start your journey. Let's start with the most obvious topic. How do you control your champ? While most players prefer a gamepad or controller, there's no actual downside in using your keyboard. It might feel a bit off at first, but I promise you, you will get used to it after some time. In 2xKO, different champions do have different strengths and weaknesses, but the controls remain mostly the same. Which means picking up another champion later on isn't too much of a struggle at all if you get comfortable with the controls first. For these lessons I will be using fighting game jargon to explain different situations. When using a new word I will put my definition on the screen so you know what I'm talking about. If this is your first time playing a fighting game, I recommend you load into the practice tool right after playing the tutorial. Here you can pick whatever you want to and program the bot as a dummy. Pick whatever looks cool and ignore everything else right now. I will explain everything later on. Now start by moving around, dashing, which is double forward or double backward, or your dash shortcut, jumping, you can jump forwards, backwards or neutral, and press your different attack buttons. You may feel a little bit goofy at first, but I do promise you that getting used to the controls will pay off 1,000-fold. There's also a move list for every champion showing you everything you can do, which might help you find the coolest champ. Now I want to talk about all the attack buttons you can use. The most important and general ones are your basic attacks, consisting of light attack, medium attack and heavy attack. All these options can be used while crouching, giving you a different move. To build a proper offense in fighting games, you need to cancel your moves. Cancelling means nothing else than chaining your moves together to skip the recovery time after each move. You can try this out by pressing heavy attack and then medium attack as fast as you can. You will see your champ just standing there like a dumbass before using their medium attack. This is the recovery time after your heavy attack. Now try hitting the bot with light attack into medium attack into heavy. It will cancel into each other if you are doing it right, and you even get a combo counter right there. So now you should get used to creating some of these strings as they are called. You can chain them together however you want to. The only rule is that you cannot cancel into a lighter or faster move, meaning something like this works, while this doesn't. This is pretty much the same for every champion, so now we will take a peek at the special moves, which vary a lot between champions. What they do have in common is every champion can cancel their basic attacks into pretty much any special or super move. So now try doing any string but using a special or super move at the end of it, like this. Most of the time you can even cancel your special moves into your super moves, but not the other way around. Even if you do perfectly master the controls, actually playing the game will still feel super random if you aren't familiar with the fundamentals of fighting games. If you are losing in League, most players have a general idea of what went wrong. For example, you overstepped and died against your laner, so now he's stronger than you and you are facing the consequences. In fighting games, the exact same thing happens in a much smaller time frame. So knowing why you got hit, or why you can hit your enemy is essential to understanding win conditions, their counterplay and mind games, while taking away the frustration of not knowing why you are getting curb stomped by some drooler. But these fundamentals will be the topic of the second lesson. To wrap this up for now, I am briefly going to introduce the cast we are working with right now, so you have a general idea of the different playstyles the champions offer. Keep in mind that every season adds a new champion to the cast, with Caitlyn being the next one. As of right now, there are 11 champions represented in 2xKO, with Caitlyn coming in about a week. While there obviously are tier lists made by competitive players, usually for other competitive players, they mean nearly nothing in any rank below Challenger. One could even argue that the worst champions for competitive play between highly skilled professionals perform extremely well in any lower skill bracket. So I want to quickly help you figure out what team you want to try first. I personally would split the cast into 4 different fighter types. First of all, zoners. Being very good at, well, zoning, they control the screen with projectiles and traps, keeping you away and buying time for their assist. Then we have grapplers. They are pretty big, tanky and slow. They have grabs, which act like stronger throws. These champions need to be right in your face and want to steamroll you. Probably the coolest type are rushdown / mix-up champions. Being extremely fast and agile allows them to chase you down and enforce their strong offensive options. Then we have bruisers, which might not even be a type, but I wasn't sure what else to call it. Those champions are tanky and slow but deal a lot of damage and have very far-reaching attacks. After you chose what team you want to try first, the game will ask you to choose a fuse. Just know this is basically your keystone in League. They will determine how your champions interact with each other, and I am going to quickly showcase your options. For a better understanding of what they exactly offer, I am going to talk about them more in the third lesson. There are 5 different fuses the game lets you choose from. While they all have their unique strength, I would consider 2 of them to be like training wheels for beginners. Tagging between 2 different champions while you don't even know how to properly play one can be very overwhelming when facing an actual opponent. Juggernaut is by far the easiest fuse to use. With Juggernaut equipped, you can completely ignore your second champion, since you trade all the assist and tag mechanics for more HP, damage and other advantages you don't have to think about right now. Sidekick is pretty much the same, with the only difference being that you can use your assist moves. I would recommend starting with this fuse, since learning to use your assist moves is an essential part of this game. When you get more confident, you can now choose between the remaining 3 fuses. All of those fuses unlock the assist and tag mechanics of this game and let you control both of your champions. Each one giving you different advantages. I recommend you start out with Double Down, since this is the easiest fuse to use in my opinion. Double Down lets you cancel your super moves with your other champion's super moves, for a shit ton of easy damage. Additionally, you get to tag while performing a super move, but that's a topic for the advanced tag lesson. 2x assist is pretty straightforward. You simply get to use 2 of your assist moves in one go. This fuse is a little team dependent, since having a strong assist is obviously very important if you are going to use them twice. Last but not least is freestyle. Freestyle enables a second tag, meaning you can change back and forth between your champions. If you just started learning this game, then I would not recommend to take this fuse. While it is very powerful and even essential for some teams, you need to know what's happening in order to properly make use of this fuse. If you don't know what you are doing, then this fuse is not giving you any benefits at all and is a complete waste. Alright, that would be it for the first lesson. I do hope that all that yapping at least helped you a tiny bit with learning this awesome game. If this felt like a painfully boring math class to you and you'd rather just learn by doing, then I can recommend you face the bots in this game. They are behaving a lot more human-like and realistic than in, for example, League. And you can choose your difficulty going all the way up to 8, which is likely way more difficult than the online opponent you would face otherwise. While I do plan on explaining everything worth knowing when starting out in my next lessons, I will obviously answer any questions in the comments. That being said, I hope I could convince at least some of you to download and boot up the game today. Have fun and see you in the next video. Auf Wiedersehen.